For centuries, humanity looked up at the night sky and wondered if the grand architecture of the cosmos was mirrored within ourselves. When early physicists peered into the invisible heart of matter, they felt a profound sense of awe. They believed they saw a breathtaking cosmic symmetry, an elegant universe where the rules governing massive planets circling giant suns also dictated how subatomic particles behaved inside a single drop of water. This captivating idea became known as the planetary model of the atom. It is an image permanently etched into our culture, appearing on science textbooks, logos, and television screens worldwide. It is a brilliant lie that breaks down under rigorous physics. To understand why we fell in love with this analogy, we must travel back to 1911. The legendary physicist Ernest Rutherford conducted his famous gold foil experiment, firing energetic alpha particles at an incredibly thin golden sheet. To his absolute astonishment, while most particles sailed straight through empty space, a tiny fraction bounced violently backward. Rutherford remarked it was as if you fired a 15-inch artillery shell at a piece of tissue paper, and it came back to hit you. This monumental discovery proved that atoms are not solid pudding. Instead, they contain a highly concentrated, positively charged center called the nucleus, which commands almost the entire mass of the atom. It was the perfect analog to our heavy sun, naturally leading to the theory that electrons circled it like tiny planets. This brings us to the formal definition of the Rutherford-Bohr model. It was a revolutionary hybrid theory that took Rutherford's discovery of a dense, central nucleus and combined it with Niels Bohr's radical new quantum rules. Bohr postulated that electrons do not just randomly swarm around the center. Instead, they are restricted to highly specific privileged circular tracks called stationary states. While resting in these specific orbits, electrons are magically forbidden from radiating energy. They can only change their energy levels by executing a radical quantum leap, instantaneously vanishing from one track and materializing on another. It was a brilliant, clockwork mechanism that beautifully explained how atoms absorb and emit light, capturing the imagination of scientists worldwide. The mathematical temptation to link the cosmos to the atom was nearly irresistible because the underlying equations look identical. In astrophysics, the gravitational force keeping planets in orbit is written as capital F sub gravity equals gravitational constant capital G multiplied by mass 1 times mass 2 divided by distance r squared. In the atomic realm, the electrostatic force pulling electrons toward the nucleus is dictated by Coulomb's law. This is written as capital F sub electric equals Coulomb's constant K multiplied by charge 1 times charge 2, all divided by distance r squared. Both forces obey the exact same inverse square law of distance. It seemed mathematically certain that nature was using the exact same mechanical blueprint for a solar system and a microscopic atom, trapping particles in eternal orbits. However, classical physics harbored a dark, terrifying secret that completely doomed Rutherford's cosmic dream. Unlike neutral planets, electrons carry a negative electrical charge. According to classical electrodynamics, specifically Maxwell's equations, any accelerating electric charge must continuously emit electromagnetic radiation, shedding its kinetic energy into space. Because circular or elliptical motion requires constant inward acceleration, an orbiting electron must continuously broadcast light energy. As it bleeds this energy away, its orbital radius must shrink instantaneously. The classical equations calculate that the electron would spiral into the nucleus within a mere fraction of a nanosecond. If the solar system analogy were completely true, every single atom in existence would suffer an immediate midnight meltdown, causing our solid world, our bodies, and the entire universe to instantly vanish into nothingness. Enter the savior of modern atomic theory, Niels Bohr, in 1913. He realized that to save the universe from collapsing, he had to boldly break the established laws of classical physics. Bohr boldly postulated that electrons are confined to special, privileged circular tracks called stationary states. While resting in these specific orbits, electrons are magically forbidden from radiating any energy at all. They can only change their energy levels by executing a radical quantum leap. This means they instantaneously vanish from one track and instantly materialize on another. When an electron drops down a level, it releases a discrete packet of light called a photon. The energy of this photon is written as capital E equals Planck's constant h multiplied by the frequency of light, denoted as the Greek letter nu. Bohr anchored his revolutionary hypothesis using a precise mathematical condition for these stable orbits. He proposed that the angular momentum of an electron is strictly quantized, meaning it can only exist in integer multiples of a tiny, fundamental unit. The master equation is written out as capital L equals mass m multiplied by velocity v times radius r, which must equal principal quantum number and multiplied by h bar. Spelled out, h bar is Planck's constant h divided by 2 pi. Because the integer n can only equal 1, 2, 3, or higher, the electron is mathematically prevented from spiraling into the nucleus because there is no level 0. This formula successfully predicted the exact emission lines of hydrogen, proving that nature is inherently quantized at its lowest depth. Despite its monumental success with hydrogen, Bohr's planetary model eventually faced its own quantum catastrophe. It failed completely when applied to larger atoms with multiple electrons. The ultimate betrayal of the solar system analogy came from Werner Heisenberg and Louis de Broglie. De Broglie proved that electrons behave like waves, not solid billiard balls. Heisenberg then delivered the final blow with his famous uncertainty principle. It states that you can never simultaneously measure a subatomic particle's exact position and momentum. If an electron possesses a definitive planetary orbit, you would know its path perfectly, which quantum mechanics strictly forbids. Planets track along beautiful, predictable vectors, but electrons exist as blurry clouds of probability density, mathematically defined by the wave function amplitude squared. They are everywhere and nowhere until measured. So, why do we still teach the Rutherford-Bohr model if it is fundamentally wrong? We teach it because it is an intellectual masterpiece of transitional science. It represents the historic bridge where humanity's old, clockwork understanding of physics collided head-on with the bizarre reality of the quantum universe. It taught us how to stop thinking like mechanical engineers and start thinking like quantum theorists. The solar system analogy failed because nature at the subatomic level refuses to be neat, predictable, or ordinary. Your atoms are not small solar systems. They're something infinitely more fascinating, ruled by waves, probability, and cosmic mystery. Thank you for watching the video. If you want to explore deeper into the quantum cloud, subscribe and leave your questions below. See you in next video.